Hello, this is Juan Ventura, period 4, talking about musical history. Part 1, the musical genre in Italy. Um, One thing that I've noticed of the research that I've made is that the thing that really pops up the most would be opera. Opera sounded like a very important thing for traditional Italy music, and I'm here to briefly talk about more into traditional music. Yes, so at the end of this part, there will be an example video of opera that was back in the old days that happened in Italy. It'll be a 1 minute video of the opera. The music of Italy has traditionally been one of the cultural markers of Italian national and ethnic identity and holds an important position in society and in politics. Italian music innovation in musical scale, harmony, notation, and theater enabled the development of opera, which is what I said when I researched is what basically mostly pops up is opera. In the late 16th century, which is when the opera was developed, and much of modern Europe classical music, such as the symphony and the concerto, ranges across a broad spectrum of opera and instrumental classical music, and popular music drawn from both native and imported sources. Italian folk music is an important part of country's musical heritage, as spans a diverse array of regional styles, instruments, and dances. Instrumental and vocal classical music is an iconic part of an Italian identity, spanning experimental art music and international fusion to become symphonic music and opera. Opera is an integral to Italian musical culture and has become a major segment of popular music, basically meaning that opera has done has got a big toll, has done a lot throughout Italian traditional music history because it was developed in the modern 16th century, and opera still goes on today in a lot of places, but mainly in Italy because that's where it originated. No, not originated from, but that's what they talk about the most. The canzone napolitana, the Napolitan song, and cantor singer songwriter traditions are also popular domestic styles that form an important part of the Italian music industry, alongside imported genres such as jazz, rock, and hip hop from the United States. Italy was also an important country in the development of disco and electronic music, with Italo disco being one of the earliest electronic dance genres. Now, the 1 minute video will pop up of an example of an opera that was searched on YouTube.
Qui dove il mare luccica e tira forte il vento, su una vecchia terrazza davanti al golfo di Surriento, un uomo braccia una ragazza dopo che aveva pianto.
If you have seen the video from before, that is the video example of part 1. This is part 2, musicians and musical groups from Italy that are traditional and originated and are old and are known all around Italy a lot. Some famous musicians are Antonio Vivaldi, who lived from 1678 to 1741. Born March 4th, 1678 in Vicenza. His father, Giovanni Battista Vivaldi, was a professional violinist. He taught his son how to play the violin, and some more research told me that he was named a professional violinist at the age of 24, meaning he was good at the instrument he played, which was the violin. And another musician is Giacomo Puccini, a composer who lived from 1858 to 1924. Born on December 2nd, 1858, in Lucca, Italy. One other famous musician is Gioacchino Rossini, who lived from 1792 to 1868. Born on February 29th, leap day, of 1792. In Pesaro, Italy, known for his operas, one of them being Cinderella. There's gonna be a video example of Cinderella, just the music, no voice. And one Italian group is called the Black Box, consisting of 6 members, the members being Martha Wash, Charvoni, Mirko Limoni, Daniele Davoli, Valerio Semplici, and Celestine. One of their famous songs that pop up on the internet is called Everybody, Everybody. There's gonna be a 1-minute video of example of the famous musician Gioacchino Rossini playing one of his most known operas, being Cinderella. If you have seen from the last 1-minute clip, that is from part 2. It is the musicians and the music groups. Now we're going to be talking about the musical instruments that are traditional to Italy. Musical instruments are sometimes as important as the songs themselves. Songs can be made more meaningful, livelier, more emotional, and more realistic, or other effects come when it's accompanied by musical instruments. Although there are the opera or vocal that do not need these instruments, but it is used in more of the music genre. It also depends on what musical instruments to use in the genre of the song it will accompany. Meaning, like, what type of instrument is going to be used for this song. Maybe it'll be like a dark song, or maybe it could be a dark song could be helpful a tuba, because the tuba goes low, and low notes make it feel dark and scary, and other instruments that play dark and scary. Musical instruments usually vary in each country, as each has their own type of preferred music. We can talk about the preferred music of other countries another day. We are talking about Italy right now. The preferred music of Italy. In Italy, it is ordinary that people like soldiers, shepherds, or fishermen have their own unique song. It is the northern part of Italy. They have yodeling as a kind of folk music. It was adopted by other countries as well, meaning the yodeling was adopted by other countries other than Italy. In Italy, they usually used the musical instrument like the folk accordion, bagpipes, that is usually played or used during Christmas, meaning it's not usually known for being played during fall, spring. It's usually known for being played during Christmas. And folk flutes. They also used violin. As I said before, the musician Antonio Vivaldi, his father was a violinist, so his father taught him how to play the violin. And as more research said, I said before, he at the age of 24, if I'm not mistaken, was nominated for a good violinist. Was known as a good violinist at the age of 24. The early ballet was accompanied by horns, trombones, kettle drums, dulcimers, and bagpipes. Some traditional musical instruments include, as I said before, the folk accordion, folk flutes, and bagpipes. There's another instrument that's called the zampogna bagpipe. Which is usually used at Christmas. So the bagpipe, as research I said before, isn't really used for anything other than Christmas. So usually when you hear the opera or musical songs and other stuff in Italy, it is usually, the bagpipe isn't usually there unless it's Christmas. So during Christmas is when the bagpipe is most commonly used. The quartara is a wind instrument. A wind instrument would be like one of the folk flutes that is mentioned in the research. An oboe, a clarinet, etc. You blow across the opening at the top. It is played mostly in South Italy. The quartara is mostly played in South Italy. The tamburini is like a modern day tambourine. A tambourine in band is considered a percussion instrument. And now there will be a video of a traditional instrument being used to play a song. One Italian song. And that is what will conclude this video of the traditional music in Italy.
Thank